Earlier this week, a series of measures were rolled out for foreign workers in South Korea. The most notable change was the increase in the E9 visa quota and enabling Korean restaurants to hire people with these visas. Our business correspondent, Moon Hye-ryeon, joins me in the studio for this topic. Good to see you, Hye-ryeon.
Good evening, Jung-min.
Evening. So what is an E9 visa and what does this new policy bring to the table?
Well, it's a work visa that's issued by the South Korean government for foreign nationals to carry out what's regarded as non-professional work. It's issued to people from countries that have an agreement with South Korea, particularly Southeast Asian countries, to enable foreign workers to fill in shortages in certain local industries. This includes the likes of the manufacturing, construction, agriculture, fishery, and service sectors. There's an annual quota for the E9 visa, and the government has upped the limit for 2024 to a total of 165,000. In addition to this, starting next April and July, E9 visa holders will be able to work in the dining, mining, and forestry industries. There are some limitations, though. For the dining industry, only restaurants serving Korean food are allowed to hire E9 visa holders, and businesses have certain requirements they need to meet in order to be eligible. Restaurants with fewer than 5 workers must have been in business for more than 7 years, and those with more than 5 workers for 5 years. It also won't be applicable across the whole country from the beginning. The government plans to introduce it in stages, starting off with around half of the country.
I want to ask you, how serious is the labor shortage in the dining industry?
Well, Jung-min, the aging population and low birth rate has been an issue for the country for quite some time now. And it's no surprise that this is also affecting the labor market. And ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, the dining and accommodation sectors have been struggling to find staff. I spoke to a Korean restaurant owner in Seoul to find out more about the difficulties. So let's take a listen.
It's been quite a while now since we first started seeing labor shortages in this industry. You could even go so far as to say the job market has collapsed. This new government policy will be extremely helpful.
He stressed the urgency of the situation and the recent trend of young people not willing to work in the food service industry.
There's more demand than supply, so job seekers can afford to be picky. We desperately need anything that can help increase the workforce.
According to data released by Statistics Korea, the labor shortage in the dining industry has increased more than 5-fold over the past 3 years. Earlier this year, the government expanded the job sectors open to H2 visa holders, usually to temporary farming, to include the entire restaurant industry, and increased the working hours for D2 visa holding international students, enabling part-time weekday employment. But as the above visa holders aren't really looking for work in the food service industry, expanding the hiring pool to E9 visa holders is expected to help rejuvenate the job market.
Hye-ryeon, and what are some concerns about this policy and how does the government plan to address those issues?
Well, some are concerned about what this could mean for domestic workers. And others feel that this isn't enough and that more industries need to be included, such as the accommodation sector. Here's what a representative from the Korea Hotel Association had to say.
Business is back to normal for hotels, but it's been difficult to hire staff that we cut down on during the pandemic.
With the rising demand for foreign laborers in the accommodation industry, the government plans to revisit this sometime next month. Limitations on the number of foreign workers that can be hired are also in place to protect domestic workers. Restaurants with less than 5 workers can only hire 1 E9 visa holder, and those with more than 5 can hire up to 2. Furthermore, if restaurants fire Korean workers as a result of hiring foreign workers, employment restrictions will be put in place. With the government setting up a dedicated task force, it looks like more changes will be coming.
All right, thank you for your report, Hye-ryeon.
It was my pleasure.